Question, the member from London West.
Thank you, Speaker. My question is to the Premier. Today, for the 5th straight day in a row, a heat warning was issued for Southern Ontario, which means an elevated risk of heat illness, especially for children. In schools without air conditioning, students and education workers have been sweltering in classrooms hotter than 30 degrees, close to 40 degrees with the Humidex. Students are developing heat rashes, and parents are keeping their kids home, not just to keep them comfortable, but to keep them safe. Teachers report that children are unable to concentrate, their learning compromised. Education workers struggle in the face of these unbearable conditions. Does the Premier think that 30-degree classrooms are acceptable teaching and learning environments for Ontario students and education workers?
Thank you, Premier.
Minister of Education.
Minister of Education.
Thank you, Speaker, and I want to thank the member opposite for the question. Mr. Speaker, I know that when there is an unusually hot day like yesterday and today, that it's uncomfortable in some classrooms. And Mr. Speaker, that's exactly why we are investing in our schools. We have put $1.4 billion for repairs and renewal of our schools to improve the learning environment for all students. And these investments, Mr. Speaker, are really left up to our local school boards, who have the flexibility to prioritize their needs. So they have the flexibility, Mr. Speaker, to add air conditioning. I know that there are some school boards that are making that a priority, adding areas in the school that can be commonly used as cooling areas, like the gym or the library, Mr. Speaker. But these decisions are being made by our local schools for the best interest of our students.
Supplementary.
Thank you, Speaker. The Premier knows that school facility budgets are barely enough to maintain the current state of disrepair in Ontario schools, much less fix the accumulated $15 billion backlog. This is not just an issue during heat alerts. The repair backlog increases the likelihood of broken boilers in the dead of winter, forcing children to wear winter coats in the classroom just to stay warm. Speaker, years of neglect under both the Liberals and the Conservatives have brought our schools to a tipping point. Heat waves are becoming hotter and more frequent. We need a concrete plan to address extreme classroom temperatures and create safe working and learning environments for students and education workers. Will the Premier commit today to implementing such a plan?
Minister.
Well, Mr. Speaker, we are prioritizing and implementing a plan to continue to invest in our schools. And that includes building brand new schools, Mr. Speaker. We've actually built 760 new schools across this province and done extensive renovations and additions to over 860 schools, Mr. Speaker. And we are continuing to do so. And for the understanding that we have to continue to have upgrades and renewals to our schools is absolutely there. But, Mr. Speaker, when it comes to our local decision-making and flexibility, we know that our school principals, our teachers, have that understanding of the needs within their classrooms, and they are able to change where the classroom is happening. They can move students outside. I've visited schools, Mr. Speaker, where they have done so. And we want to have our local school boards making these local decisions, Mr. Speaker, and the educators as well. Thank you.